Friday morning, Homestead-Miami Speedway. Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net. Round 10, the last round of the chase. 10-race chase, and Brad Keselowski, he's on cruise control. All he's got to do is finish 16th or better, lead a lap, 15th or better, and just finish the race. The championship's his. Dodge's first championship since 1975. Waiting to see if any of the Dodge officials show up. You know, they're pulling out at the end of the season, and they showed up at Phoenix on Saturday, but didn't stick around for Sunday. Pretty dramatic Sunday. Phoenix, too. Jimmie Johnson in the wall. Brad Keselowski almost knocked out in that last lap disaster. Last end of the race disaster with Jeff Gordon crashing Clint Bowyer. Still not sure how NASCAR decided to let Jeff Gordon off with just a slap on the wrist after suspending Kyle Busch last year for exactly the same thing in much less dangerous circumstances. I'm thinking that it's a long season for everybody, including NASCAR officials. They should have thrown the caution at the end when Danica was trailing oil all over the track, and it was a terrible crash, and that was, of course, set up by the green-white checkered that was set up by Jeff Gordon laying in the weeds to take out Clint Bowyer, who I guess has been roughing him up during the season. Boys will be boys, but maybe NASCAR needs to have a little more consistency in its rules. Is it a double standard? One set of rules for Rick Hendrick's bunch and Jeff Gordon, and another set of rules for Joe Gibbs' bunch and Kyle Busch? That's the way it would look if you're just sitting in the stands, and we'll have to see what happens here. Jeff's on the track. Is forgive and forget for Clint? Or is Clint ready to take him out? Maybe that's the real reason that NASCAR let Jeff run in this race, to make him run in this race, not give him a free pass. Brad Keselowski on his way to be the champion. We talked to him last night, told him thanks for a good year. He's been remarkably erudite throughout the season, and he was very emotional last Sunday afternoon in Phoenix when he ripped his fellow drivers for driving dangerously. Maybe that's the real reason that NASCAR fined him $25,000 for carrying a cell phone all year. I don't understand that at all. NASCAR celebrated the cell phone back at Daytona in February. Remember that? Big story. The new face of NASCAR, social media, Twitter, behind the wheel. But it was a $25,000 fine on Tuesday. Got me scratching my head. A lot of things NASCAR's been doing lately, it's got me scratching my head. Right now, the Wall Street Journal story about NASCAR running out of gas the last couple of years. It's fairly obvious. Anybody that watches the grandstands at Talladega and some of these other tracks can see there's an issue, there's a problem. Racing's boring, except for the last few laps and 3-hour snoozers. Wall Street Journal pointed that out. Pointed out that sponsors are leaving, like Dodge and Office Depot, and NASCAR apparently didn't like that. Wall Street Journal is the same owned by the same company, Fox. The Fox people that do the Daytona 500, so they're hardly anti-NASCAR. And the Wall Street Journal, biggest paper in America, very important paper. NASCAR needed to have a better image out of that thing. So NASCAR's officials, they've gone on a PR marketing binge like you've never seen. They've pulled all hands on deck. You're going to see more stuff about NASCAR in every publication, puff, 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 than you've ever seen. Even veteran PR people are scratching their heads about why so late in the season. It's like November, the season's over. Why are they doing it now? They could have started better racing back in February, March, or April. I wouldn't have had to worry about all that. Maybe Dodge would still be around. Maybe Office Depot. Maybe a lot of companies that are having second thoughts about NASCAR. We'll have to see what happens over the winter, but right now it's going to be a PR splurge by NASCAR executives like you've never seen. I'm going to have to cover my ears, I'm afraid. Mike Mullen, Friday morning, waiting to see who wins the pole for Sunday's Homestead 400, the last race of an endless season.